Alright, so for this drumming video, I want to continue on with our train of thought of our 4/4 rhythms. So again, 4/4 rhythm, 4 beats per measure, every quarter note gets a beat. So this one is known as the Sombati rhythm. So this is a it's a rhythm that is Egyptian in origin, and it's very similar to our shiftatelli, which is an 8/4. At this point of recording, we haven't really gotten into our 8/4 rhythms yet, but depending on when you're watching this, you can also refer to the shiftatelli, or otherwise known as the wahnus if you're talking about the Egyptian form, but that's a horse of a different color. We're not going to get too into that today. So structurally, this rhythm is very similar to the maqsum family. So for example, our maqsum rhythm, which is a Dun-tek-tek-Dun-tek, this one has the same tone structure, so it's still going to be a Dun-tek-tek-Dun-tek, but the timing is a little bit different, and we're going to kind of contrast between our maqsum rhythm and our Sombati, and you'll see kind of how they kind of sound a little bit different, but you can also work with them together. Like, let's say you're playing some percussion with a group of drummers or a partner. You can kind of use these two rhythms or work within the maqsum family of rhythms alongside the Sombati, and you'll create a very some interesting textures and dynamics in your percussion. So just to break it down to start, again, it's a 4/4 rhythm, so it's a Dun-tek-tek-Dun-tek, 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 Dun-tek-tek-Dun-tek. So that's one version of the Sombati. I've also heard this rhythm played with a double, with instead of a Dun-tek-tek-Dun-tek, as a Dun-tek-Dun-Dun-tek. So in that case, it would be a little bit more similar in structure to our saidi rhythm, and we're going to play with both, but we're just going to start with that single dun version as opposed to the double. So let's get our drum out. So for this, again, as our usual breakdowns of these rhythms, we'll play just the bass tones to start, then add in our text, and then maybe a little bit of embellishment here and there toward the end. So again, it's a tac tac doom tac 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 doom tac, or a doom tac tac doom tac 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 doom tac so that's the basic skeleton structure. So I just want to alternate a little bit between the basic version of the Sombati versus our maqsum, because when I'm thinking about this rhythm, there's almost like, because the count is slightly different, there's almost this like slight breath before the first tek, whereas like with our maqsum rhythm, which is a tek 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 tek, and then Sombati is a tek 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 tek. Sombati. Maqsum. Sombati. So you kind of hear the difference there between the two rhythms. So again, the bass and treble tones are very similar in arrangement, but the timing is just slightly different. I almost feel like the Sombati rhythm almost has a little bit more of like a relaxed feel, whereas the maqsum kind of almost like, uh, for me anyways, amps up the energy a little bit more. So it's just something that we can play with. So let's stick with our skeleton versions of this rhythm. This time, let's try it out with the two dooms in the middle. So it's a doom tack, doom doom tack, doom tack, doom tack. Oh, sorry. Doom tack, doom tack, doom tack, doom tack, doom tack, doom tack. Whereas, just to kind of contrast again, seeing the slight difference between our saidi, which say tek, 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 tek. And Sombati as tek, 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 saidi as Dun-tek, 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 Dun-tek. So again, with the Sombati, that little rest that's between the first dun and the first tek is very quick and very slight, but it does give the rhythm a very different feel from again, members of the maqsum family, which are very structurally similar, but just slightly different timing, right? So let's continue on with the skeleton, and then we'll fill in this rhythm a little bit. So I want to alternate this time between the first version and the second version of the Sombati rhythm. So again, the first is a dun, dun, tek, tek, dun, tek, dun, tek, tek, dun, tek. Second. First. Second. First. Second. First. Second. No, sorry. Dun-tek, dun-tek. Okay, so you see how those two versions, it's the same, basically the same rhythm structure, but just some slight variation on which beats are getting the dudes and the teks. So let's continue on with that thought. I want to stick with the first version of this rhythm, and we're going to just play around with filling it in slightly. So uh, again, it's a tek, 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 tek. All right, nice work with that. I want to, let's see, just end here with just a little riffing, I guess. So I want you to, we're going to go back to, um, let's go back to this alternating between uh, basic Sombati and the maqsum rhythm. Actually, no, let's do the opposite. Let's do dun, dun, tack, 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 tack, dun, tack, tack, dun, tack, tack, to the saidi as all right, I kind of lost it there at the end. I was kind of drifting off a little bit, playing between the four different versions or the four different rhythms that we've kind of been toying with for this video. So, as always, take that with you, munch on it a little bit, and join me for more drumming tutorials. Thanks a lot.